Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Overshare Hour. How are you doing, Juby?
Gosh, I'm doing so good today. I'm excited because tonight we are actually going to hang out in the wild, Kenzie.
I know. I was going to say I'm excited because I get to see you in real life, for real life later.
I know, which I mean, I'm so thankful because we have the podcast. We talk every single week, which is so much fun, and obviously like throughout the week as well. But I'm excited because we are having a game night tonight at my sister's boyfriend's apartment.
Yeah, which
And
we've never done. We've never gone like all together. We've never gone there.
yes, all together.
hmm
And it's like our whole group, we have a group chat called the Gamers with a Z at the end. And it's us and then two of our other friends. And we are all going to go hang out. And you guys are going to get to go meet his cat, which is the cutest cat. Her name's Curie. She's adorable. So I'm excited. We're going to have fun playing
I
games all
know
night.
it's been too long, so I'm
It has.
excited too. Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing good today too. I just feel, um, I don't know, I'm ovulating and I just feel very grounded and happy. That's how I feel on when I ovulate. So actually that's not always true. Sometimes I feel crampy and cranky, but today I feel good. Yeah. I feel vibrant
I
and full
feel
of
like a
life.
woman.
I feel
No.
like a woman. That's what I was thinking when I flipped my hair and I didn't
You know
say
what?
it.
You look like a woman. You
Thank
look
you.
very beautiful
I
today.
am one. So, it's
There you
good to look
go.
like one. Thank you. Yes, I feel good and I'm ready. Let me just remind everybody. So, we're still trying out our new setup. So, if you're new here this week, we are doing our advice submissions, like listener write-ins first at the first part of the episode. And then we're going to sprinkle in a couple Reddit stories. Then we will do our overshare moment where we overshare about our lives. So that's going to be the setup and we're really excited. Okay, go.
Yes, and give us your feedback. Let us know
Yeah.
if you like it. Okay, ready for the first one. Hi, Overshare Hour. My divorce was finalized recently, and it wasn't something that I wanted. My ex blindsided me and left me after we had been actively trying for a baby. I've really been struggling with the fear that I might have missed my chance to ever become a mom. So my friends planned a girls' night to cheer me up and help me celebrate getting through the divorce. Halfway through the night, one friend asked everyone for their attention and announced that she was pregnant. She knows how hard this has been for me and how scared I've been about the future. Everyone congratulated her while I sat there and tried to not cry. Later, when I told her that it hurt, she said that she didn't want to have to lie about why she wasn't drinking, so she decided that she didn't want to hide her joy. Now she is saying that she is hurt that I wasn't solely excited for her and that I am making this about me. Am I allowed to be upset or am I being unfair?
Honey, that is not your friend. That is crazy. Um, Centering your joy on a night that is specifically about supporting a grieving friend is horrendous behavior. And it's giving Regina George. It's giving Mean Girls. It's giving my youngest daughter's best friends that I'm hoping she grows out of at school right now. It's people who I hate saying this, but it's like when we say about women's boyfriends or husbands, we're like they hate her. There's no true love, care in that person's heart for you, or else they would have never done that, and you deserve to not have people like that in your life. You are not being unfair. There's nothing about this that is unfair on your part. And the fact that you brought it to her attention that it was hurtful to you, and then she said you were making it about her, about yourself, when all you asked for was one night of support from your friends as you're grieving the end of your marriage, and the fact that you're already grieving this fear of the loss of the idea of a family. It's diabolical. It's diabolical that this happened. So no, you're not being unfair. She's being very unfair, and um you deserve a better friend. Like you deserve to be free from that person.
It's horrendous behavior. I can't think of a worse time to hard launch a pregnancy than at a divorce party when you know that wanting a child was a big topic around this divorce and this marriage, and that you know that your friend is grieving. And the friends put this together to try to cheer her up. Like everybody knows, I think sometimes with divorce parties, I've seen videos on TikTok where it's just so happy and they're like, oh, thank God I'm free. I was like so excited to get divorced. And it feels like everybody knew that that wasn't the vibe. The vibe is we were actively trying for a baby and he
Left
left.
me.
And the amount of pain and grief that comes with that, especially with this idea of, okay, well, now what does my timeline look like? Do I think I'm going to be able to have a child on my own someday? To hijack that night and announce it is so insane to me that I feel like, okay, best case scenario, let's say she doesn't hate you, or she wasn't trying to be malicious. Best case scenario is that she just doesn't see you, which is still bad, that she doesn't see your pain and she doesn't understand where you are coming from and the pain that you are in, or she didn't care enough to factor that into her decision. And it's not even something that came up last second or she felt like she was put on the spot and it just slipped out. It's like, no, it says she literally asked for everybody's attention and that she knew she was going to do that because she didn't want to explain why she wasn't going to drink, which
Also, that's bullshit.
yeah, because what I was gonna say about that is that there are plenty of reasons why people might not drink. She could have said, "Oh, I got put on a new medication and my
Literally, I'm on
doctor
antibiotics.
I'm on antibiotics." Like,
Yeah.
yeah, use that one, guys. If you ever don't wanna drink and you want people to leave you alone, be like, "I'm on
Yeah.
antibiotics, can't take it," So
Yep.
to act like the only way I can explain why I'm not getting drunk tonight is because of that is crazy. She could have volunteered to be the designated driver. She could have said something about medication. But the fact that she is using that as an excuse for, oh, well, I had to tell everybody this. And say she needed people to know in advance, she could have told them days before.
Yeah.
She could have come to you personally and said, hey, I know that this is a really sensitive topic. Like obviously, this woman cannot hide her pregnancy forever. If y'all are friends, eventually, yes, there is going to be that uncomfortableness of you are living out or she is living out a dream that you are grieving right now. And that's hard and painful. And I think that any friend who has emotional awareness would know enough that they need to go to their friend and delicately say this. It's like if somebody is struggling with infertility and has had numerous miscarriages, you're not going to be like, oh my gosh, guess what? I'm so, like you're going to say it in a gentler way because it's hard. And I feel like people should understand where their friends are coming from, especially if she has seen you cry and grieve over this relationship.
Yeah, and she literally was like, "And then I decided I wasn't gonna hide my joy, and you should be happy for me." You know what? No one's asking you to hide your joy. You can be joyful with your partner, you can be joyful with your family, you can be joyful with all of the other women that are there who are not grieving the exact thing that you're living out. With that friend who's going through that grief, I firmly believe as a person who has friends that you they are to be centered. People who are grieving the desperately grieving loss, they are the ones you do not center your joy over their pain. You center their pain in their own lives and in your friendship relationship, and then you can center your joy in your own life, but you don't center it with them. Like, that's not the appropriate response. So being like, well, you should just be happy for me if you were like a good friend. That's what the insinuation is, right? Well, if you were a good friend, then you would be able to feel joy for me. It's like, okay, like put yourself in that person's shoes, get in touch with reality. She's literally grieving this, that she may never have what you're having right now. So if it was us, I would not tell you right away. And if when I did tell you, like you're saying, it would be incredibly delicate, and your grief and how I can support you would still be the center of that conversation. Like, it wouldn't be like, so now, like, can you be happy for me? Right? You have to give that person, because it's like, then when you're the one grieving something that someone else has, especially a close friend, you're also dealing with like your own guilt of being like, I want to be happy for you and I'm struggling to be happy for you. Right. So the appropriate thing is like being vulnerable and being honest about how you feel and how these experiences are going to make you feel and how you're going to walk through them together as friends. This person is not that's why I'm saying this person isn't a true friend, because she's not thinking about that. She's only thinking, well, you should just be happy for me, instead of thinking about how this is affecting this person. So I'm so sorry that that happened. And yeah, anyway, obviously I'm upset. I'm on a soapbox.
I know, and I feel like 60% of the damage was done when she did what she did, and I feel like almost an equal amount of damage is done when you went and told her how you felt, and she completely acted like you're wrong for feeling the way that you are. That's where you lose any sort of goodwill, in my
Yeah, there's no
opinion.
redemption there. Yeah.
Yeah, because when you go to somebody and you say, "Hey, this is how I've deeply been hurt," I think a true friend or somebody who has good morals would be horrified at their tone deaf behavior. If they truly cared or were a kind person, they would be horrified that they accidentally did something so out of touch, and they would want to try to make it right. Or say, like, let's go out for another night. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, and really try to make that up to you. The fact that this friend, which I use that word so loosely, would just like double down on that behavior is atrocious. So I hope that your other friends were there and supportive for you during that time. And yeah, just surround yourself with people who truly are going to be there for you during this, and that there is still hope for you. I think like I've seen so many people start over, even in their, mid 30s, they get divorced and, you know, God, the universe, things work out, so it's very fair to grieve. It's very fair to grieve and let yourself feel all of those feelings, but I do want you to know that this is not the end of your story, and I'm sorry that that was so thrown in your face by somebody who should have cared for you.
You know what? That you're not asking for this advice, so I don't don't listen to me if you don't want it. But I don't have any experience with this, and I realize like everyone has different abilities and resources and stuff. But this woman, Robin Arzon, she's a Peloton instructor. She went through apparently went through a breakup, like kind of a serious relationship maybe that she thought was going to be like lifelong. And she was older. I don't know how old she was, but old enough to where she was thinking, I won't be able to, like, meet someone, have enough time to date them, get married, to have children, like, I guess whatever that age is for her, right? She was just thinking there's no way that there is enough time to do all of that. And so she froze her eggs, and, now she is married and, like, she has 2 biological children because she was able to freeze her eggs. I don't know how much that costs. I'm aware that a lot of people can't do that. I don't know if it's covered by insurance, like, I have no idea anything about that, or that you haven't thought about that yourself, but it just came to my brain that I'm like, well, there are ways to do it if you're really anxious about it and you don't wanna feel rushed in your life, that if that's a possibility, like, she did it. She froze her eggs and then she was able to have kids, which I feel like is something that I would do if I wanted to have more kids. Like, I think that's it's an option. So, anyway, I just wanted to say that in case you never know if people don't know that that's a
Absolutely.
possibility.
Like,
Yeah.
if you're able to do that, I mean, it could give you peace of mind and
Yeah.
help kind of like take
Mhm.
the time clock off of it. But yeah, definitely still time for you in life, and it's hard, so again, so sorry that that happened. Please let us know what you end up deciding to do regarding that friendship, because that is atrocious behavior.
Really bad. Um, okay. I will read the next one. Okay, this one says, "Hi, Jubilee and Kinsey. Hello. This is going to be a long one, so I apologize in advance." Hey, we love it. We love long ones. I first wanted to say thank you for doing this podcast. I look forward to Wednesdays every week. It's truly so comforting to listen to you both share your advice and experience. My partner and I, both 22 years old, have been together a little over 3 years now. We were childhood friends and grew to consider ourselves best friends in high school. We started dating about a year after graduation, and it was so wonderful to build a relationship with someone I was already so close to. The first year was honestly perfect. We did everything together, and we built a great foundation of communication and boundaries we were both able to follow and feel comfortable with. Things took a turn right around a year of us officially dating when he started to become negative and unmotivated. I figured it was just a phase as we are so young and there was a lot happening in his personal life outside of our relationship. I did my best to be supportive, but he began lashing out at me as well. Fast forward 2 years, it feels as though we are in a repeating cycle. He gets into these mindsets where he is unhappy with life and blames everyone around him for it, especially me as his girlfriend. The more time has passed, the harsher his insults towards me become. It truly feels like he hates me at times, but then he snaps out of it. We talk, cry, he apologizes, and things are good until they aren't. I've begun to recognize his behavior as emotionally abusive. I recently read Why Does He Do That? And it's been very eye opening for me, but incredibly sad at the same time. It hurts me so much to experience this with someone I've cared about for so long. But the pattern never seems to change no matter how I try to communicate with him, and I can really see the impact it's taken on my mental health. The only way I see this stopping is if I end the relationship, and I'm honestly worried about how it will progress in the future if I do not. But I'm still carrying the weight of the emotional connection we've shared for most of my life. Is there any way it gets easier? I know there is no right answer. My logical reasoning is just conflicting with my heart.
I remember when I was living in Atlanta, I think it was around 2018 or 2019, and I got hit by a drunk driver, and they rear-ended me. I think I had a concussion, and it was just bad, but I ended up being okay. But I remember going to bed that night, and it was so interesting because we hadn't fought that day. Ted and I had not fought. We were fine that day, but obviously we had been going through what you were going through, this cycle of just negativity and feeling like I felt like he hated me. I really felt like he hated me even when things were good, that there was this underlying hatred that he had. And I remember laying in bed and I started crying and I told him, "I feel like you wish I would have died in that car accident." And it's something that just it felt so true to me at the time that and it felt like a thought so out of nowhere, and he was like, "That's ridiculous. What do you mean?" And what's so funny is we were so trauma bonded that I was actually pretty honest with him. I think like maybe people think that I wasn't telling Ted the things that I was thinking at the time, but I was so isolated from my friends and my family that I was honest with him. I would say, I think you're abusive, or I think maybe this is an abusive relationship. And we would argue about that. But here I am laying in bed and I told him, I feel like you wish I was dead. Like, I feel like maybe had I died in that car accident, you would have been happy. And he's like, Of course not. What are you talking about? But it's because I felt that hatred. I felt it all the time. And there was one very chilling time when we were laying in bed and trigger warning, but he I think we had been fighting, but it was quiet, we weren't actively fighting. I think it had been silence for probably over 10 minutes, and he said that he hated me, or it was either that he hated me this is so morbid, guys, but he said he hated me or he said he wanted to choke me out. I remember that there are 2 memories where he said both of those things when we were laying in bed. I don't remember which time it was, but it was so eerie because it was quiet. We weren't even in an argument, and I felt that all the time, and I feel like it's even scarier when it's said in a calm tone because I was like, "Oh, you actually feel this way. It's not something that you're saying." Yeah, it's not something you're saying in the heat of the moment, and those were the times where I was afraid that he was gonna end up taking my life after I fall asleep or something. Because 'cause I'm like, "What is it like in your brain? What are you thinking about me?" And yeah, all of that to say, this cycle that you're talking about is just that. It is a cycle, and you've seen that over your relationship with him, that he can cry and he can apologize and you guys can come back together, and then you have this false sense of intimacy because you've cried together and because you have these very emotional experiences that feel bonding but in a very traumatic way. And reading this submission, it really made me think about, and I haven't really listened to this podcast. I think I listened to one episode of this podcast because the who was it? Rob from Love Island went on Call Her Daddy. Okay. Um, but I've seen clips where Anna Kendrick, who is the actress from Pitch Perfect, right? She talks about how I think she was in a 7 or 8 year long relationship with her boyfriend. And he was totally normal for 6 or 7 years. Like, they were best friends, healthy relationship, and then all of a sudden, he changed one day, and he became emotionally abusive. He started acting very similar to what you're describing. So I would recommend going and listening to that episode because she talks a lot about how she didn't realize that it was emotionally abusive because she thought, okay, something about me is bringing this out. And it just feels like he feels bad about
Because
himself.
of the shift.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's taking it out on me. And it was hard for her to see him in a different light because she had only ever known him in this positive light. So then when this big shift happened, it was kind of disorienting and you kind of feel like, is this me? And she felt like similarly that he hated her. And then through therapy, she realized what was going on and that they would also have these emotional talks that would just cycle and cycle and cycle. So maybe go listen to that podcast episode. I know that even just seeing the clips was um, comforting to me. I could definitely understand where she was coming from, but it made me think of that because you said, you've known him so long, he's been a part of your life for such a long time. And it can be hard to reconcile how different somebody can become when you feel like you know them. Like I know this person, he's a core person in my life, but there's just this shift. And unfortunately, we always have to be reevaluating who's good for us because he could have been good for you one day, but unfortunately the person that he's becoming and the way that he's treating you, it's different now. So I love that you read Why Does He Do That? That book gave me so much clarity. I read it a couple months after I left TED, and it solidified my decision. It made me realize that I never wanted to go back. So I'm glad that you've read that book because I think it is eye-opening when you start to see these patterns and you realize that there's a playbook that all of these men they're playing the same game, and you can see those patterns. But yeah, if you're just wanting any more validation that what you're experiencing is not okay, that we can definitely give that to you because you deserve better than this situation.
Yeah. And I don't have like a ton of advice. I think I just really agree with everything that you said, GB, but I do think like you said, you know what you have to do, and that's the hardest part. The end of your submission says that your logical reasoning is conflicting with your heart, and that's kind of the push and pull of, what do I do? I need to leave. I want to stay. Um I I know that this isn't available to everyone, but I also think it would be really good if you could do some therapy, even if it's short-term therapy. I would even say, like, do BetterHelp, like, if finances are a thing, the BetterHelp app, I think they do either sliding scale or, like, low-cost therapy sessions. I would talk to a therapist, um, to create an exit plan emotionally. I don't think you haven't stated that you feel physically in danger at this point. So I don't know that it's like you feel I need to leave this relationship like yesterday. Um so if it were me, um first of all, safety first. Like I just want to say that like if there's anything that you do feel like leave the relationship and get therapy to help cope, but if you can do this, I think for me I would get into therapy, and the reason I would do this is because you guys have been together for so long and you still love this person. So you've been together for so long, are grieving not only a romantic relationship, but a friendship that was built in high school. So you have all these years of time, and you have two relationships that you're having to grieve. You're having to grieve the friendship and you're having to grieve the romantic relationship, and that's a lot of grief. And you need support for that grief. So hopefully you have a support system that you can lean on, but also I think a therapist to help you uh practically and emotionally be able to walk through the grief of the lost and have that support before you and the relationship might even be more helpful. Like go now and start talking about the fears, work through with a therapist like what's happening in your relationship, um and start the grieving process now. I know that sounds so weird, but it's like get support for the grief now so that when it happens and you leave, you already have that foundation of support that you can lean on as opposed to trying to find it when you're in the process of grieving. Like I I don't know, I guess okay, maybe this is the reason why I'm saying this. I'm trying to figure out why this is my advice. I was in an abusive relationship that I ended up leaving, and I think being in therapy did really help me to leave that relationship. And so was in therapy, working through that relationship, left the relationship, and was in therapy with the same therapist as I worked through the aftermath of the ending of that relationship. And that felt like I was surrounded on all sides and had that like built-in support through every phase of the process. And I think that that is why I'm saying that, is that it might be helpful to have that support now, and so that you can have it through every phase of the process, if possible. And that's why I mentioned BetterHelp, because I know it's so expensive. I had insurance back then, um, and now I don't, so I don't have access to therapy. So every time I say therapy, guys, like, I'm not even in therapy, I can't afford it right now, but I do know that BetterHelp has some cheaper options. So, that's my advice.
And
I really
sometimes
think it
you
would be
can
helpful.
find therapists on a sliding scale,
Mhm.
based on your income. If you can't, for whatever reason, afford any type of therapy, and, nothing replaces therapy. So I don't want to act like this is an equivalent to therapy, but I will say one thing that helped me a lot during my last year with Ted was I read so many self help books, so many. So I would recommend flooding your system and your brain with the truth and reading memoirs. Memoirs were very powerful for me because it made me realize the type of life that I could have if I left, and to be able to see redemption in other people's stories. So I read a lot of memoirs, a lot of self help. So I would just try to feed your mind with as much positivity and I don't know, education. Education really helped me. Once you see these signs, it feels like this veil comes off and you can't be fooled as easily with these manipulative tactics that are being thrown at you at times that you wouldn't have noticed if you hadn't read these resources. So even if that involves like following content creators that talk about domestic violence and emotional abuse, really just try to remind yourself of the truth because I think we can all, at least I think, I can relate to reading a book and feeling like I'm going to do everything this book says. I'm so hype. I'm going to change my life. And, it fading a little bit after time. So I don't want you to read, why does he do that? And then it's easy to get stuck in this cycle over and over again. So I would just continue to take in content that is life giving to you and reading books that helps you during your process of, and even books on grief as well.
Totally.
Mhm.
Yeah, and, like, I love that about the, like, self-help books and memoirs because I did that too. I've done that a lot throughout my life. I feel like it really has helped me build the life that I want for myself and, like, work towards building the life that I want for myself. I still feel that way about reading books. And that it inspires you. So, when you're grieving the loss of something and then you read something that's inspiring and like you said, it gives you, like, a vision of how good life could be or what life could look like for you, and then there feels like maybe a roadmap or steps that you can take. That energy and of setting out on a new path, like creating a new life, like being on a new journey, it it helps counteract the grief of the loss because you're moving forward into a future that at least something excites you. Even if you're still sad, even if you're still grieving, there's something that you're looking at in front of you that you're like, but that excites me. And so it gives you like motivation to. I did want to say, and this probably is a good time to say it. Truly do um, try my best to respond to messages from you guys. So like if you reach out to the Overshare Hour, or I've gotten a few DMs this week, like to my personal Instagram, it takes time sometimes for me to do it, but I will respond. So like if you ever want to update us and on Overshare, like send us a message or send us an email. Like um we're at a place right now where like one of us can pick through them and read them and respond as much as we can. And so like when we say update us, like we actually mean it, like, feel like you can update us because we really love to connect with you guys and, like, hear how it's going. Yeah. Okay. So now it's time for the Reddit section of the Overshare Hour.
All right, are you ready, Kenzie? I think you might think this one is a little funny.
Okay, yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, it is from AITAH. So, am I the asshole? Am I the asshole if my sister ate brownies before asking me and got upset finding out that they were infused?
Oh, no.
Oh, no is right. Okay. Here we go. I made a big batch of infused brownies with Biscoff cookies in them and cookie butter drizzled on top yesterday. I got them packed up into a container today, and the container is sitting on the kitchen counter. I like to make batches and freeze them to have them available for later. I haven't put them away yet because my boyfriend and I plan to have some. And usually, whenever making something infused, I let the three other adults know. They don't take, they ask if they want any because of my magic ingredient. Later, my boyfriend and I are upstairs, and my sister asked if she can have a brownie. I said, sure, if you want. And she cut me off with, oh, good, I already ate one earlier. I said, oh, just so you know, they're infused. And then she started freaking out and got upset, saying that she didn't want to be high. They're made with oil infused with leaves only and no actual flowers, so not very potent. But also, why didn't you ask before consuming the brownies that I made? She has been asking me almost any time I'm baking whether or not something is infused. And the one time that she doesn't ask beforehand, this happens. So am I the asshole?
No, that's her fault.
She should have asked. She
She
should have
should have
asked.
asked. I mean, that sucks. I feel for her. If I ate an infused brownie, I don't like to be high. So, like, if I ate an infused brownie, I would be panicking, but I wouldn't be mad that I ate someone's brownie without asking and then am reaping the consequences
Especially if she knows and
that they
everybody.
do this.
Yes, if it's
Mhm.
and it's a brownie. Like if you know that somebody makes potent dishes or
Right.
desserts, you would think that you would ask first, and a brownie is like the go-to. So
I know, like,
I
just in
would,
case.
just in case, maybe you should ask. But I similarly do not like being high. Especially edibles. I lose my mind. I feel very stressed out. And it's like the second that I feel the highness come over me,
Mhm.
I feel dread. And
Yes, it's
I should,
anxious,
yeah,
so anxious. Yeah.
I feel like I should let myself enjoy it and ride the high, and I'm incapable of doing that. I think it has to do with my personality because I'm such a worrier that I immediately feel anxious. So I totally get the gut reaction of being a little upset, but no, it was her decision. She should have known. She should have asked before. Also because it's yours and she made it, she should have asked beforehand, but it's a brownie, and if she knows that you do this, I don't know. I think that's
Not the asshole, that's for sure. Um, my cousin had a story. He was in college, and he lived with a bunch of roommates, and he came home one day, and everyone was gone, and they had left a bunch of brownies out on the table, but he had no idea that they were infused, and he ate, like, a bunch of them and ended up in the hospital. I know. Yeah, like, he had, like, a breakdown, and they found him at the house, like, he was, like they had to take him to the hospital. I mean, he was okay, but, like, he was just that he ate that many. I know, I know. I just feel that's how I feel when I'm high is, like it's so weird because I can drink alcohol and that alters your brain, but I still feel like I'm me and everybody else is them. When I'm high, I feel like I'm in a simulation or like a fun house, and it feels like like I start to be paranoid that like everyone is like not really themselves. That's like it's like a weird thing that my brain does that I'm like we're in an alternate universe and like no one's themselves and I feel out of control and that's what I don't like. But when I drink, I still feel very much like me and like everybody is them, you know? So anyway, if you wanted to know how I feel about being high, not that you were
yeah.
asking.
I don't
Yeah.
I don't enjoy it, not at all. Oh, okay, I'll tell a story. Don't judge, guys. Already judged myself. So this was how long was this? Way over 10 years ago. Okay. So
Okay.
At the time, I was with my ex and I had fibromyalgia. It was so horrible. At the time, I was bedridden. I could not even walk around the grocery store for more than 10 minutes without like needing to stop for breaks. And I ended up getting some magic pills from my sibling who lived in Colorado. And basically, they were trying to help me. And they said, "Hey, let me send you these pills that have some weed, and because it was legal from the
Yeah.
dispensary, and just take a fourth of this pill. And if you take a fourth of this pill, then maybe it will help your pain because a lot of people treat chronic pain that way." And I didn't want to be high, but I was told if you just take a little bit, should be fine. So I was doing that. And oh my gosh, guys, it saved my life during that time. I mean, it would take away my pain. It was incredible. If I took the right amount, it was perfect. And I never panicked. It was great. Unfortunately, at the time, my dog ate it. And some got on the floor somehow. I don't even remember dropping it, but I guess, and they were tiny pills, and my dog ate a pill and all of a sudden was swaying and looked so out of its mind. I was hysterical. I got in the car. My dog is, like swaying side to side. And I thought my dog was going to drop dead in that moment. It was the scariest moment. I was on the way to the ER with my dog and I get there and the vet said, "No judgment, but by any chance, do you smoke weed?" And I said, "No, I don't," because and I really didn't think I was lying.
Yeah.
I was like, "No, I don't smoke weed," because I didn't consider myself a smoker or anything like that. And they were like, "Okay," and they kind of told me, "Well, your dog is high, extremely high, and we're going to have to keep your dog overnight." And they said, "Well, you must have maybe taken your dog out and maybe it ate a joint on the ground. Like maybe one of your neighbors left a joint out. So we're going to have to do fluids and stuff." But that ended up costing, oh my gosh, like $800 probably.
Was he okay?
Yeah, my poor dog was so high. It was so sad. So yeah, that
That's
was
crazy.
my horrible experience. I felt like the worst pet owner in the entire world that I had let this happen. And then it wasn't until later that night that, because I was running with this theory that my dog must have eaten a joint on the floor from our neighbors. And then I realized, oh my gosh, it was me. It must have
It's
been
me
a
the whole
pill.
time.
Must have been a pill, which is horrible because I was only taking a fourth of these pills and my poor dog
Yeah.
must have,
And
oh
he
my
was
gosh.
little. He was a
He was
little
a
dog.
little dog. So
Mhm.
horrible experience. It's hard for me to sleep at night remembering that happened. So
Juby,
yeah.
okay, so I used to like weed. This has changed for me, okay? So, like, I used to do edibles all the time, um, early in, like, my mid-20s, I guess, like, 23, 24. I loved edibles, and I loved being high. It didn't make me feel the way it makes me feel now. So, like, something has changed. I don't know. Um, and I had a cookie that I took to, Thanksgiving with me, and I had my dog with me in the car. I went into the gas station and came out of the gas station, and she had eaten the cookie, the whole cookie, and she's little too. Yeah, this is, like, actually my fault. Like, it didn't just drop on the floor. I was like, "She's not gonna eat the cookie." Like, I just didn't even think about it. Well, she opened the package and ate the cookie out of it. She was so high, she was hallucinating, and she was literally running around at Thanksgiving my whole family in Austin, hiding under the table and like she was like barking at everything and like she was totally flipping out. And then she just crashed at the end of the night. And I was like, I mean, I looked it up how big the cookie was, how much she had, and it was like she's most likely going to be okay. She just has to like ride out the high. But I felt terrible for her. Yeah.
Horrible. And
So
I
I'm like,
mean, as somebody who hates being high, I have a lot of empathy, because it's the worst feeling. It's the worst feeling. I mean, and I know people in my life who really enjoy it, which is totally chill, doesn't affect me that way. I think it has to do with me not liking to be out of control. And it's like out of control times 1,000,000. So I don't like it.
yeah. Some people really just don't feel the same way. Luca, when I describe how I feel when I'm high, he's like, that is genuinely not the experience that I have. Because I'm like, how do you enjoy this? We got into an argument one time because I was like mad that he liked it. I don't know. fucking weird. But I was like, why do you like this? Like, why do you like to feel like that? And he's like, well, how do you feel? Like, what is it that you're feeling? And so I described it and he's like, well, baby, that's not how I feel. So I like it because it doesn't feel like that. And I was like, oh, okay. Like it just like
Makes
made sense
sense.
to me. Yeah. So anyway, weird tangent.
Weird tangent.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Are you ready for mine?
Yes.
Okay, so this one actually is a little bit long, but I really wanted to read it. So this is from the Two Hot Takes subreddit, and it says, should I confront my husband about AI pics I found on his phone? Yeah. You ready? Okay. Hi, I'm 30, female, married to my husband, 37, male, for 2 years. Found some really disgusting pictures of myself on his phone. I was taking pictures of my daughter because I left my phone at home. And while we were out as a family, we saw an older man walking his llama down the street. She was dressed up, the llama. And of course, what 10-year-old doesn't want to run over and chat up this quirky little guy and his steed? It was awesome and cute. That's when I realized we came all this way and I forgot my phone. So I asked my husband to borrow his phone to take photos. Later that day, I get back on his phone while he's in the shower so I can send myself the pictures we took and send them to my daughter. This is where the trouble happens. I find a locked folder in his albums, which is really weird. I've never seen this and really didn't know you could do this. I have the password to his phone, so of course I panic and unlock it and start scrolling. There are probably 15 images he made using AI of me. In each one, he has changed different things about my body. One has really big boobs, and one I'm in all leather, and one I'm in lingerie and look like a stripper smoking a cigar. This one really got to me because I quit smoking for him, and then he photoshops a picture of me in a cloud of smoke because women smoking is a kink for him. In one, he even cut my hair and made it blonde. I have long brown hair now, as this is my natural color. I used to dye my hair platinum blonde, but he said he preferred me more natural. I have smaller boobs, C cups, and this picture of me had double D's at least. How can I believe he loves me for me if I can't get these pictures out of my head? The crazy part is, I do wear what he wants me to wear and listen to his likes and dislikes. So, why is the real me not enough for him? Help.
Ooh. Was
What do
the
you think about
question
that?
if she should talk to him?
She didn't no, it was just she didn't even ask, like, what she should do. She's more just like, "This is what's happening, help me." So I think it's just general.
Okay, she needs to talk to him about that because I understand how violating that feels. I feel like the world is actively trying to figure out how to deal with AI, how to deal with the fact that this technology is out there. And unfortunately, people are using it to do stuff like that. And he obviously knows that he shouldn't be doing that because he put it behind a locked folder. He didn't want you to see it, so it's actively something that he's trying to hide. Um, Man, I would feel so violated and icky about that. I would love to know more about their relationship dynamic, like if she feels comfortable talking to him, and is this the first time that he's ever hid something like this? Um, Gosh, therapy. I mean, I don't even know how to go
Yeah.
about repairing
Do you feel like it's a
that.
deal breaker? Like, is it something you would leave your marriage for?
This is hard, guys. I'm afraid that y'all are gonna get mad at me based on what I say. I personally don't know that it would be a deal breaker for me, but I respect that that would be a deal breaker for other people. I do think that it's a violation. It's something that I would need to go to therapy over to learn how to like rebuild trust. And also, I think it's a big enough issue on its own. Um, that he did that and he has this saved away. But the fact that he changed her body, he changed her hair color, the smoking thing, he didn't want her to smoke, but also he has a kink about smoking. There's an
Yeah.
extra layer of violation and hurt that goes around the fact that he changed things about her. It's not just that he put her in whatever outfit that maybe he's like, oh, that's
Yeah.
sexy lingerie. Like he actively changed characteristics about her. And that feels very hurtful and violating. And I don't, yeah, I don't blame her if she can never get over it. you know?
Yeah.
So like if she did want to get divorced over that, yeah, I think that that's valid. I think the issue is I don't know what their relationship dynamic is like or what their marriage is like. I just know that Bran and I have such a And this is where I'm like, I feel like people may not agree with me, but I think it just depends on your relationship dynamic. But I love Brandon so much and know him and know his heart, and it would be so out of character for him to do something like that. That I would go to therapy over it, but I personally think I could work through that. Um, but it's also really valid if people couldn't work through that. So I don't know. What do
Yeah.
you think, Kenzie?
No, I agree, and I think there's, like, nuances here. So, like, it depends on the type of relationship. The fact that he hid it is the problem. Like, the fact that it's something that he doesn't feel comfortable sharing these kinks with her, that would be the worst thing. He's making AI images of his wife, so he has some sort of, like, moral, it feels to me like that
Yeah.
indicates some sort of moral thing where he's like, "I'm not just, like, wanting to go look at random women." He still has attraction to his wife, he's interested in her, he's, like, changing her body, like, it's very weird that he's doing that and that he's doing it privately. Like, there's a lot of things about it that are weird that would really bother me. Like, I would really struggle if this happened in my relationship. However, if Luca and I were talking and having a sexual conversation and talking about kinks, and then he, like, was like, "There's this app and, like, we could do these things," and, like, talked about it, and there was, like, a conversation or some sort of, like, we're brought into a discussion about our sexual lives and how this whatever, like, I can see there being a way where I'm like, "Okay, like, whatever," but it would have to be, like, something I know about and I'm part of. It can't be something that is, like, done privately without me knowing to my body. That feels very violating. It feels very wrong. It feels like lack of consent. Like, there's just a lot of things that feel wrong about it to me. So I agree. I I don't think it would be wrong for her to get a divorce or say that she can't get over it. I don't know if I could ever get over it. That's something that I would have to, like, see how it goes in therapy and how it plays out. I have no idea if I could ever get over that, but it would definitely bother me. I also understand the, like, role play aspect of things. Like, I love that in my I love the idea of that in my sex life. Luca and I are open with that kind of thing. Um, we also like to watch, like, X-rated movies together, and, like, we find enjoyment in those types of things. So I'm not anti kink, I'm not anti anything like that. It's more like the consent piece and the secrecy that would bother me the most and make me feel icky. So yeah, and that would be really violating. It would be enough for me to walk away from a relationship if there wasn't, like, a lot of care put into the repair of it. So, yeah, that really freaked me out. I also there was another Reddit, story that I read, like, on the topic of this AI thing, where the mom okay, I think it's the mother-in-law of this woman. So this woman has a mother-in-law, they live long distance from both of their families. So she's married, both of their families live long distance. Their families are very much, like, upset that they don't come home as much as they could, right? Like, they want them over more, and the mother-in-law has started to, like, with AI, use AI to Photoshop them into family gatherings. So it'll be like they're at dinner and there's a picture of their whole family there, right? But they're not because they live long distance. Well, she'll put them there and post it on Facebook and be like, "The whole family got together today." And her family, like, her parents are now reaching out and they're like, "I saw on so and so's Facebook that you went to visit them. Like, why don't you come visit us?" And she's like, she really takes this seriously. She's like, I tell her, like, "Please stop photoshopping us into your family pictures. Like, it's weird. And my family, it's causing issues with my family." And the mother-in-law won't stop. She's like, "Why? It's not that big of a deal." She wants, like, her Facebook friends to see all of her family together even though they're not there. So I mean, it's just another example of people using AI in these ways that maybe to you wouldn't be a big deal, but to some people are, and I think consent matters regardless. Like, you should honor people, like, not photoshopping them places that they don't wanna be photoshopped in. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Absolutely. I think, like, yeah, that's so weird. That's so weird that she would Photoshop them in and then, like, also not back off when she tells her to stop. So odd. I think, yeah, AI's tricky. I've seen threads about stuff like this before on Reddit where people say that they have found AI photos of themselves. Like, this is not the first time I've heard this. I think that's why, like, in my mind, um, I think that because it's so new, I could see a world, guys, I'm not saying that this is okay. I think that there's like conversations that absolutely need to be had and that men need to realize how their their partners feel about this. But I have heard men say that they don't think that it's wrong because if it's like their partner to like make these photos because like in their mind it's kind of like a boudoir shoot, like, oh well, I it's fun, it's you, I'm fantasizing about you. I think that the part that makes it the most painful for this specific write-in was that he changed things about
The
her,
changes.
you know?
Totally.
But also, I think there's something to be said that a lot of women would never be okay with it, even if they don't change things, because it feels violating and it feels like you don't have a part in it. And I think that a lot of people aren't on the same page. And because AI is so new, especially with the photo aspect of AI, there's a big question mark. And maybe not emotionally intelligent men could think,
Yeah.
I don't understand the problem. Like, and I could see a world where the guy, even this guy who hid it behind a locked folder, might not understand the gravity of how it makes her feel. Like he might think, like,
Totally.
it's you, it's
He's
you,
like, "It's literally you
you
in
know,
different outfits."
woo, fun, you're my wife, and I think, yeah, I what would be telling is if he is understanding of how it makes her feel and being
Yeah.
willing to like talk about this in therapy, and understand the gravity of it. But I fully understand if she's not able to get over it. I feel like I
Yeah,
would be
it's
able to
about
get over it
consent.
because the issue is that she has these insecurities already. So then finding these AI photos that kind of change her to be whatever he has in mind is super violating and also just painful. That's painful. Whereas I feel like for me with Bran, I don't know, does that sound lame? I feel like I know that he like loves me and is attracted to me. So I don't think I would be super, but although maybe I would if he changed parts of my body that I'm insecure about. So yeah, that is
Yeah.
something
That
that
I
would be a big topic for sure.
Yeah, I didn't even
Ugh.
really think about that. Like, if Luca did this and he was like, gave me like a big butt and like a different shaped body, I would be like, dang, that's what, like, I'm already insecure about those things and you're doing it to like get off. That would really bother me. Like, that would hurt me deeply. So it would make me feel like he doesn't appreciate my body as it is, even though like I don't know that that's the case. Like, he might appreciate her body as it is and just like this picture of her with big boobs and blonde hair. Like, it could be both. No, it doesn't matter. The consent is the issue also. So like, regardless, if y'all aren't in it together, it doesn't matter. It's your body. However, yeah, if there was a world, and this is what I was trying to say earlier, where y'all come together and you're okay with him making these AI videos or pictures and y'all know about it, and he also is like changing your body, but is and feel secure that he loves your body as is in real life. Like, I can see a world where people can like do that in their relationship and it not feel violating, but like that is not happening here at
Yeah.
all.
Hmm.
So it's weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
that's
so
okay.
true. If he changed my body in a way to, I don't know, that points out my insecurities, yeah, I don't know if I could actually. So
Yeah, that would be hard.
horrible, 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 horrible. So therapy, 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 and hopefully this man realizes how messed up that is, but
Yeah,
very
for sure.
painful.
Yeah.
Alrighty, are you ready to jump into our
Crazy.
Evershare?
Or Evershare?
Overshare. Sorry, my brain, Jello.
Yes, I am so ready to jump into our overshare. I can go first if you want. Yeah. Okay, so I'm getting married, as you guys know. If you weren't there for the episode, I'm getting married in October of this year, October 17th, and we booked our venue and everything's great. We're wedding planning full steam ahead, right? And I'm touching my hair because that's what I'm about to tell you about. I am now going to be on a hair journey this year to try to care for my hair. Um, like, my hair is like kind of thin, brittle. It breaks really easily. It's the longest it's ever been, but it's definitely not the healthiest it's ever been. Um, and I want to repair it because I want to do a like a Viking bride braid kind of thing for my, not like super hardcore. I want it to be soft, like not like Viking hair like going to war. But if you look at like if you were like to go on Pinterest and be like Viking bridal hair, like, you would see what I'm talking about, but it's kind of just like the big multi-braid, you need a lot of hair for it, like, kind of it's curled and braided, whatever. So, I really want this when my hair is thin and brittle. So I'm gonna grow it out as much as I can over the next 9 months because I am going to have to get extensions no matter what. Like, even just for the volume, right? Like, Juby, you could do this easily with your natural hair. I don't have enough hair on my head to even make it possible. The braid would just be like little tiny braid. So I'm gonna have to get extensions, but I also, just my personality, I value a more natural look. I want it to look as natural as possible. I don't want it to look like fake hair. So I'm going to try to grow my hair out and make it as thick as possible so that I can hopefully like braid it in with my hair enough that it looks like it could be my hair. Does that make sense? So I'm like doing oil in my hair, and I like go to work with rosemary oil in my hair, and I have those little brushes now that you like scrub your head in circles to like massage the follicles so that your hair grows back, because I have like balding on the sides just from stress and like my genetics, like it just is what it is. So
Your hair looks
yeah,
great,
I
though, I have to say,
thank
Kenzie.
you. Thanks.
Been
So
staring
I've
at it
only been
today.
thanks. I wear my hair also up every single day, so I have to stop doing that. And I've been putting this rosemary oil in my hair. I've only done it 3 times, and Luca is like, "Babe, it's already you could tell a difference in just like the shine of your hair, like the softness of your hair, like it's already working." So that gives me really it makes me feel like, okay, I have 9 months, to get my shit in order. I feel like there will be at least some growth, and not just for the wedding. I would like to have healthier hair. I would like to feel better about my hair, and um so yeah, I'm excited to see the journey. And really the reason I'm telling this is cuz I know we have a lot of badass ladies who listen to this podcast. So would you mind this is really why I'm asking for help. Would you mind if you know how to like repair your hair, please send them to me so that I can learn, because I was raised by a single dad. Okay. So I washed my hair with like Dove body soap. Like, it was not a thing. Like, taking care of my body was like not a thing that was taught to me. I'm 32. I'm still figuring out like what that looks like. So I need you guys to big sister me and like teach me how to do this so that I can like have a little hair glow up this year and feel really good on my wedding day.
Love.
Yeah.
I
So that's my,
love that
yeah.
overshare. Okay, so I'm gonna piggyback off of yours, and
Okay.
my hair has been going through something recently. I don't know what it is. I did buy my normal, or I tried to buy my normal hair care stuff. So I do get people asking what I use. I use Pattern, and it is really good. It's made for hair that is my texture. Fortunately, they were out of what I normally get, so I got the heavy conditioner instead of the medium conditioner that I normally get, and then I accidentally bought it's kind of like a cream instead of the gel. I didn't realize it was in the same tub that I typically get, so I switched 2 products out on accident. And my hair the last week has felt like straw. It feels like I went swimming in a chlorine pool. And I don't understand what the issue is, because you would think that having the heavy conditioner would make it, I don't know, even softer. I
Like,
mean, that's what I would
yeah.
think. Um,
Imagine.
yeah, so I don't know if it's that, or I also do know that I've been pretty bad about eating enough protein and drinking enough water. So I don't know if it's something like that or if it's this. And I also feel like my hair's been more tangled, and I'm just kind of wondering what the heck is going on with my hair. It just doesn't feel great. And I feel like it looks pretty dry. And on top of that, I knew I needed to get a trim. So I went this morning, so funny, guys. I go to get my hair trimmed at Great Clips because, yeah, because here's the thing. I I hate cutting my hair so much, and this might surprise you guys. I'm such an introvert that I quite literally dread making small talk for the time that it takes to cut my hair. Like, I dread that interaction. Yeah, I will put it off as long as humanly possible. So we're getting together tonight, like I said, for the game night. And I was like, my hair looks so dead at the bottom. Like, even recording my TikTok videos, I've been like, wow, that's embarrassing because it just looks dead at the bottom. So I wanted to get a cut before tonight. I found a great clips that had decent reviews. I show up. This woman, kid you not, did not say more than like the necessary words to me. You know,
Hell yeah.
she said, "How much do you want off?" And I said, about 4 inches. She said, "Great." Didn't talk to me the entire time. Other people may not like that. I was like, I'm only coming to you from
Yes.
now on. I quite literally asked this great clips woman, "What is your name?" And she said,
My
"Bernadette." I
gosh.
said, "Okay, great. I will be back," because it was the most chill experience of my life. I walked in, walked out, didn't have to make small talk, and I found a new hair person because she did what I needed, which is just cut off my split ends. So um, hoping that when I style my hair today, it will look less dead at the bottom. But yeah, give us advice on how to get a healthier hair texture. And also, my skin, I think it must come down to water and protein. I think it must come down to that because my skin also like feels kind of dry the last couple weeks. So I really need to get on my self-care game. So please, big sister us, let us know, what sunscreen do you like? What products do you swear by? I need advice for sure on how to really just kind of get some moisture back in my hair and on my face.
I know. Who thought? I mean, like, you would really have to work at this stuff. When you're young, like, we're not old, but when you're young, you don't actually, that's not true. I know lots of people in their teens who are, like, on their skincare and their hair care, so I can't say that for sure. When I was young, I was just, like, flying by the seat of my pants. I'm like, "This is life." Like, here I am, right? That's what I look like. Now I'm like, "Oh, my skin's sagging. My hair, it's dry. It's falling out." Like, I have to, like, take care of my skin. I have to preserve it. Like, it's just hit me all of a sudden that I wanna, like, take care of myself. But talking about just the last thing I wanna say, the haircut thing, I also, like, I say this to Luca all the time. I'm like, I feel like women love to go, like, self-care is like going to get your hair done, going to get a blowout, going to get your nails done, and I freaking hate it because I don't like to talk to people in real life. Like, if we were to meet you guys on the street, please come say hi, we love you. But I'm saying,
Yes, I
like,
love talking to
yeah,
people
like, we would
I
love to talk to
know, and
people.
I feel like I know you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't small talk makes me anxious because I don't know what to say. That's really what it is. I don't know what to say, like, about the weather. Well, anyway, I found this girl who offers flow state haircuts. You can literally go and book her and click like flow state. And that means that she puts in her headphones and you put in your headphones and you can read a book or scroll TikTok or do whatever. And she will not talk to you the whole time. It's amazing. And her name is Leslie and she's incredible. Like, I love her as a human being. And also, so I don't even mind talking to her. Like, I really like her when she does talk, but she is like, what are we doing? All right, headphones in. See you later. Let me know if you need anything.
Okay. Yeah, I want to go to her because the whole time I was kind of like, man, I wish I could listen to an audiobook right now. That would be
Yep.
so nice.
Yep. It's literally like an option that she gives you.
Absolutely. Oh my
It's pretty
gosh,
cool.
I'm sold.
Anyway,
I'm
I'll
going.
send you I'll send you the link. Okay. Well, that was a great episode. I'm having so much fun today, guys. We're batch recording. I'm having so much fun. So yeah, and we love you guys. Keep sending in your submissions.
Yes, and
And
please, please, please leave reviews. You guys have no idea how much that really
yes.
helps the show grow. You guys are
Mhm.
amazing, though, because our reviews are really positive, guys, on Apple and on Spotify. So if you guys could please, if you have been a listener, if you like us, it would mean the world to us if you please give us a 5-star review. And please tell your friends because we want to keep doing the show for a long time and we really need it to grow low key. So
Yeah, like we do because we want to stay here and we love you guys. So yeah, love you. And we'll see you next week for another episode of the Overshare Hour.